Welcome to Worst Case Scenario 10. Tonight, bro, we're stepping into a shadow that still haunts us. A story where human arrogance clashed with an invisible killer, and the fallout changed the world forever. Picture this: April 26th, 1986, a chilly spring night in Soviet Ukraine. Chernobyl's Reactor 4 hums quietly, its workers sipping tea, flipping switches, running what they think is a routine safety test. It's just another shift, until it isn't. This is the night Chernobyl turned toxic, the deadliest nuclear disaster in history, and I'm here to walk you through every gut-wrenching second. Strap in. This one's gonna hit you hard and leave you cold. The night it all went wrong. Let's set the clock. 1:23 a.m., April 26th, 1986. Inside Reactor 4, a handful of engineers, guys probably dreaming of their next day off, push the wrong buttons at the wrong time. They're testing how the system holds up if power fails, but they've already ignored half a dozen red flags. The reactor's unstable, overheating, and nobody's hitting the brakes. Then, boom! A steam explosion rips through the core, so fierce it hurls the 2,000-ton concrete lid skyward like a kid tossing a frisbee. A second blast follows, triggered by hydrogen buildup, scattering burning graphite into the night. The workers freeze. No roaring fireball, no Hollywood drama, just a quiet, eerie glow lighting up the sky. Blue, shimmering, almost beautiful if you didn't know better. That's ionized air, bro. Radiation tearing through the atmosphere. The guys on shift don't get it yet. "What's that light?" one mutters, squinting out the window. They don't realize they're already dead men walking. Outside, the air turns thick. Firefighters from Pripyat, young guys, some still in their 20s, race to the scene, sirens screaming. They think it's a standard blaze. Grab the hoses, douse the flames, go home, heroes. No one tells them about the radiation. No masks, no suits, just boots and bravery. They climb onto the burning roof, stomping out glowing chunks of graphite with bare hands. Within hours, they're vomiting, their skin blistering, their insides frying. Those first responders, 31 of them, don't survive the first weeks, their bodies ravaged by radiation. I think about that, bro. Running into hell because you don't know it's hell. Would you? Would I? The invisible killer strikes. Radiation doesn't scream, it whispers. By morning, it's everywhere. In Pripyat, a tidy Soviet town 3 kilometers away, life goes on like nothing's wrong. Kids pedal bikes through the streets, moms hang laundry, workers clock in at factories, all while an unseen poison seeps into their lungs, their bones, their blood. The reactor's spewing cesium-137, iodine-131, stuff that'll haunt this place for centuries. Nobody's told them yet. No sirens, no megaphones, just a faint metallic taste in the air they shrug off. Saturday turns to Sunday, and the truth creeps in slow. Pripyat's 50,000 residents finally get the order to evacuate, 36 hours after the blast. Buses roll up, people grab a bag, thinking they'll be back in a few days. They won't. By then, the damage is done. Thousands soaked in radiation they can't see, smell, or fight. Babies born later with defects. Cancers popping up years down the line. It's a slow-motion massacre. Hospitals overflow fast. Firefighters stumble in first, skin peeling like sunburn from hell, eyes glassy, begging for water that won't help. Then civilians, dizzy, puking, hair falling out in clumps. Doctors don't have answers. They're guessing too. The cloud doesn't stop at Ukraine. It drifts west, dusting Sweden, Germany, and even parts of Western Europe with fallout. 2 days later, a Swedish power plant picks up the signal. Chernobyl's secret's out. I've seen pics of those early victims, bro. Faces like ghosts, bodies betrayed by something they couldn't touch. It's chilling. Who let this happen? This wasn't fate. It was failure, stacked layer by layer. Start with the reactor, an RBMK design, cheap and powerful, but a ticking bomb. Graphite tips on control rods that sped up the meltdown instead of stopping it. Engineers knew it was flawed. They'd warned the brass for years. But who listens in a system obsessed with quotas over safety? Then the test itself. Sloppy doesn't even cover it. The crew cuts corners, disables safety systems, pushes the reactor past its limits. They're tired, undertrained, following orders from bosses who don't care. When it blows, they're as shocked as anyone. Nobody thought it could go this wrong. I get it, bro. Pressure to perform can blind you. But this was playing Russian roulette with a nuke. The real kicker? The Soviet government. For 36 hours, they sit on the truth. No evacuation, no warning, just silence while Pripyat's kids play in radioactive dust. They tell the world it's under control, even as the cloud spreads. It's not until Sweden raises the alarm that Moscow fesses up. By then, the damage is global. Millions exposed, ecosystems poisoned. Chernobyl's still a dead zone today, 39 years later. Forests glowing with cesium, wolves roaming an empty city. Who pays for that? Not the suits who screwed up. They're long gone. It's the little guys, the families, the future. Survivors and sacrifice. Let's talk heroes, though, because even in this mess, people fought back. Those firefighters, the liquidators, 600,000 workers sent in to clean up, knew the score and still went. Guys like Vasily Ignatenko, a 25-year-old fireman dousing the reactor till he collapsed, dying 2 weeks later in agony. Or the three divers, Alexei Ananenko, Valery Bespalov, Boris Baranov, wading into flooded tunnels under the plant to drain water, stopping a second explosion that could have torched half of Europe. They made it out, risking their lives to save millions, though radiation left its mark. Pripyat's ghosts linger too. Survivors like Maria, a teacher who fled with her students, still wake up screaming, haunted by that blue glow. The world stepped up. Aid from the West, a concrete sarcophagus slapped over the wreck by '87, a bigger shield in 2016. But the cost? Billions, and a stain we can't erase. 4,000 cancer deaths tied to Chernobyl, some say more. It's a wound that keeps bleeding. What did we learn? Chernobyl's a warning burned into history. Nuclear power's a beast, and we're not always its master. Fukushima in 2011 proved it again. Another meltdown, another lesson. Today, we've got better reactors, tighter rules, but the risk? It's still there, humming under every plant. If you're near one or hell anywhere, listen up. Safety warnings aren't noise, they're lifelines. If experts say danger, don't shrug. Act. Evacuation orders lag sometimes. Don't wait for red tape, get out fast. Radiation's a silent bastard. By the time you feel it, it's too late. If you're near a nuclear plant, keep a cheap Geiger counter handy. It could be your first clue something's wrong. Masks, distance, sealed rooms, those are your shields. And this stuff sticks around. Generations later, kids pay for our messes. I think about Chernobyl a lot, bro. That glow, those firefighters, Pripyat's empty Ferris wheel. Could it happen again? Yeah, if we get cocky. Are we ready? Maybe not. Nuclear's a gamble. Clean energy till it's not. What's your take? Worth the risk? Drop it below. You and the next blast. This hits me, man. I see that blue light in my nightmares. Hear those Geiger clicks ticking up. If it was my town, I'd grab my family, bolt for the hills, seal every window I could. But you, what's your move? What's the first thing you'd grab if disaster struck? Your phone, your pet, or something else? Share this if it shakes you up. Tell us, how do you prep for the invisible? Because Chernobyl's not just a story, it's a promise that nature and human screw-ups can team up anytime. This is worst case scenario 10, signing off. Stay sharp, the glow's still out there, bro. Alright, so we've just finished watching the video. What do you think? How do you feel about it? Drop your comments and thoughts below. Hit that like button, share it if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Worst Case Scenario X, bro. Thanks a ton.